Yo, what's going on, my good people? Man, it's too late to be down singing, man. The hell
Oh,
you doing? You see that stadium in the background? It's dark, it's late.
uh-huh.
Ain't no time to be singing.
Oh man, I thought any
But I'm gonna
time's
tell
the
you what we
perfect
about to
time to
do,
be
man.
singing.
Oh nah, ain't no singing, bro. No.
Well, no singing.
But we're gonna talk about, a couple of topics we seen pop up, man. And just like Chris always say, man, we see it and we talk about it. We just gonna bring it to y'all, give y'all our quick thoughts on it. So why not share it with y'all since we talking about it and y'all might want to chime in on it. But
Yeah.
if you've been living under a rock, man, today's news. We ain't really got to go deep into it, but AJ Terrell is week to
AJ.
week, whatever the hell that means. And I think Raheem a poor communicator when it comes to giving injury updates. I think he one of the worst in the business.
Mm.
But yeah, he one of the worst in the business when he's saying it's week to week, and we'll see what happens. That's cold for I don't know what the hell's going on. But y'all know
Yeah.
AJ what happened the other day, man. He pulled his hamstring, came up lame, and he actually fell to the ground. That's how I knew it was a hamstring. My boy thought he thought it was a knee. And I said, nah, that's his hamstring. He was too far up. And
Right.
them hamstrings can be tricky, and Raheem did say that. That's about the
Yes,
only
it
thing he did communicate that was true. But we know, they can be tricky, and it could be 1 week, 2 weeks, 10 weeks. We just don't know. Because one thing about it, when you hurt your hamstring, it basically takes months for us to rehab like it's supposed to. So if you're running on it, it's gonna keep backtracking, and basically you're just gonna be running on a hamstring strain the whole season. So
Yeah,
I mean,
hamstrings.
it sucks because he's our number one, and I'm sorry, our number one corner, and he's going up against
Well,
number one receivers, and we got backup. But right quick, while I
yeah,
pull
but
up the depth chart, man, you
I
please
mean,
tell me what you think about that.
well, I mean, the whole thing is we know we need AJ regardless. I already knew it wasn't going to be necessarily be a day
Right.
to day thing. It's going to be a week to week because hamstrings are funny. One thing about having a hamstring, you can rest it, you can even test it. But the thing about a hamstring for an athlete is it can tell you or it can like give you false hope. And you'll go out there and thinking that the hamstring is fine or you can be able to manage it. But how many times have we seen that it doesn't work out the way that the player thinks initially? Because you'll try to go, you'll make one
Right.
wrong cut or one move a little bit too fast, and you'll see it out. Remember last year, Todd Bowles was
They're gonna
criticized
be all she
for
wrote.
playing Mike Evans last year when he had the hamstring, and then they missed Mike Evans for a few games. Of course,
Right.
everything happened with Chris Godwin as well, but still, just talking about hamstrings, just look at Mike Evans
Right.
last year. He ended up missing multiple weeks, I believe at least 4 or 5 weeks with the hamstring. So we're not necessarily know what the grade is for
Right.
AJ, but that week to week thing lets me know that it's going to be more than just Carolina. It may be Washington, and we'll see what
Oh yeah.
happens after Washington
I
as
think it's gonna
well.
be more than that.
I do,
I
and
think they're gonna give us an update when the bye week gone. Yeah.
I'm hoping by the bye week that like that extra week right there, and thank goodness we got that bye week right now at this point, because if AJ can get that extra week and hopefully he can be back sooner rather than later, we're gonna need him for that little stretch right there in the middle, after the bye week, all the way
Absolutely.
through London and everything. I mean through Germany and everything, guys. Because I mean, regardless,
Right.
you're gonna have number one receivers, and you need to have your number one corner. So yes, I am a bit concerned because it happened to AJ. And of course, he's our number one corner. So now it's just all about like who's going to step up. Are you bringing in C.J. Henderson? Are you trusting D. Alford? It's like who are you
Right.
going to put in that slot? Clark Phillips the third. I know he's coming off of injury. Or do you trust him? I don't think necessarily because he hasn't played any kind of snaps.
Yeah.
So
True.
you got to start asking these kind of questions like who is going to fill the void and how much difference will the defense be with AJ out? Now we know we got a glimpse of it
Facts.
with AJ out against Minnesota, but that's against Minnesota. What happens That was more so, okay, let's try to make an adjustment. What happens when a team is game planning for AJ to not be there and for this person to be there and that person to be there instead? And what kind of plays would they be trying to run against you now? So there is some questions to be answered. But I am
Yeah,
concerned
yeah,
about AJ.
that's facts. We're gonna say what's up to the chat right quick. EQ, what's
Yes,
up, my
sir.
guy? Big bro John Higgins, he said he was the first one in here. He said, "What's good, man? Carolina on the Carolina. He gonna holler at us later. He going to sleep, and
All
he
right,
right
fam.
because our old ass need to be sleep." EQ also said it better be dope because I'm losing sleep. Robert
Eh,
Ponder, what's good? We ain't trying to make you lose no sleep. Miss Pam,
no,
what's good?
man. How you doing, Miss
B.
Pam?
Robin, William Amy, what's good? Our boy
Let's
Craig
say
in here.
word. Kirk
Sherman said, "What's good?"
What's good, family?
Boy RB in here. Say he worried about the secondary, but D offer can't guard that rookie. That's a good point.
Hmm.
EQ also said Walker's not getting 100%. He's hurt his hamstring last year in college. Hmm.
And then we also got James Pierce Jr., who's dealing with a groin. He's being managed with that. So, it's like
Blackberry, what's up, my guy? Yeah.
home team, home team. Yes, sir.
Yeah, player stat said late night crew, man. We
Oh, yeah,
anytime crew.
man. Anytime, real, yeah, anytime, crew, man. I'm trying to tell you, one of these days you may just be going to the bathroom 3 a.m. Hold on, A1 and Smitty live. What the hell?
Nah, I ain't finna tell that lie. My old ass gonna be
Ah,
sleep at 3 o'clock in the morning. You even tell that lie on me. But Terrence Smith said we need to sign a, a Sante Selman Jr. regardless of the Terrell situation. And
hey,
I think
listen,
I'm gonna throw out a video
listen,
tomorrow on some guys we
listen.
could look at. You know, they
Smitty,
want to take that shot.
I'm just saying, I've been talking about Asante Samuel Jr. off and on all season. This could be the
Yeah.
perfect time.
But you think, he got a shoulder injury as well. So
He do,
I
bro.
mean, if it's
He
a
have
hundred
to test
percent,
out well.
yeah, he got tested. And if he can't test it, I mean, hey, Furball said he got a question though. Do
Okay.
we trust our backups and who's going to guard McMillan? And you just alluded to that.
Yeah, man, that's what
So
I'm saying. Like no AJ, like with AJ, I'm feeling good. It wouldn't matter, but I'm guessing it's going to be Mike Hughes. I know Smitty, he alluded to that yesterday on the pregame, and if you missed the pregame, make sure y'all go check that out. And but also had Squid Billy from 92.9 The Game coming on joining us for the preview if you happen to missed it. But so like yeah, but going back to it, I'm thinking it's going to be Mike Hughes. That's your most veteran guy. So that's going to be out there, and then you're going to have like probably D Alford on the other side. That's what I'm thinking because I don't see
right,
them rolling Clark Phillips out there. And even though I want C.J. Henderson, I'm thinking if you do put him out there, they're still probably going to limit his snaps as well because just not having in-game live action like that outside of preseason. But that's what I'm thinking. That's just what I'm thinking. It's going to be D. Alford. It's going to be Mike Hughes. Mike Hughes is going to have to take the load most of the time of guarding the rookie. D. Alford, you roll him on the other side.
you can't leave out Natron Brooks because he back there too. So
Yeah, now
Natron Brooks is going to be
If
another.
Natron, yes, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't mind Natron going in and I'm just assuming like initially, just thinking about how the depth chart is set up. I'm
right.
initially thinking that it's going to be Hughes and Alford, but I'm not minding any Natron Brooks at all. But I'm thinking, Natron. I'm not sure about him on the outside. I'm not saying he can't.
Agreed. He's a
I'm
slot
not saying
guy.
he.
Right,
Yeah, I'm not
right.
sure about him on the outside. That's my only thing with Natron. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, he's probably gonna move. Well, no, Billy Bowman's in the slot,
I was about to
but
say Billy
but
Bowman is the
but
slot. There's no
he
moving
can rotate
Natron
in and
there.
out. He can rotate in and out with Billy Bowman, and I can see Billy Bowman playing a little bit of backup safety if they go with three safety set in this game. I can see him on the field with
But
Bates
what
and
about Helms? But you got Helms.
yeah, yeah, but I think he's mostly special teams right now. He will get some snaps, but I think he's mainly special teams. And Miss Pam said she trusts Jerry Gray just like she do Dwayne Leffert with McGarry going down. I agree with that 100%.
All right,
You
I
got to
like
trust
that.
this coaching. You got to trust this coaching staff. And
I
Blackberry,
love it, Miss Pam.
they actually brought in about 5 corners yesterday to
Yeah,
work out. So yeah, but Eli Ricks, everybody know him from Alabama. Yeah, and he would be the most suitable one that they probably would sign. And I keep hearing people talk about Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, he still needs some developing, and
He's
he's
not
on
ready
the
yet.
practice squad. He's not ready, and I hate to say that because he's an extraordinary talent. But
But my thing
trans,
is, he got
go ahead.
time. No, I'm just saying he got time.
Yeah, he got time. Yeah, he got time.
Yeah, he
Nando
got
said,
time.
he think that we should try Natron Brooks this week. Phillips is still nursing an injury, and I don't trust D. Alford. So tell me what y'all think. You got to trust D. Alford, man. He's the veteran out of these
Yeah,
young guys.
you're gonna have
That's
to.
what y'all. Yeah, that's what y'all fail to realize. He's the veteran. And he played well last week in his when he came in. I think it was third quarter. So yeah, when he came in, he played decent. But one thing about it, you got to trust the coaching staff, like Miss Pam said. And Jerry Gray is one of the best in the business. So they've got to find a way to attack Bryce Young and keep him out of rhythm. And that's why I told y'all if my biggest X factor had to be the front seven, getting pressure on
Yep.
Bryce Young, especially with an AJ Terrell injury, and
Oh,
even before he got
yes,
injured. So yeah,
yes, even
so
before.
yeah,
Again, because like you just saying about the front seven, it's going to be key for the front seven to be able to not necessarily just get the pressure. The
correct.
pressure is cool, you know what I'm saying, but I'm more
We
infatuated
appreciate
with the
that,
quarter.
Nike Hendricks. Appreciate
Shout
it.
out to you, shout out to you, Nike. But
Go ahead.
I'm more care about the quarterback hits. I care more about getting home, getting the sacks because that's what
Right.
really rattles quarterbacks' cages. You can get pressure all day, but we don't have like guys like who guys like Bud Dupree, who was the almost sack king. You know, so he
Right.
almost get there, but we will still be getting carved up. And that's no, and
Facts.
that's no, you know, what I'm saying knock on him or anything. It's just we have to have more than just pressures. We got to get those QB hits. Well, we had like 11 QB hits against JJ. Not saying that we're going to have that many against Bryce, but we need to try our best to get as close as we can. We need to get them on the ground with the sacks. So again, like that front seven is key because that's going to help the back end, especially with the injured cornerback
Yeah.
room.
And true, man. I'm gonna tell you another thing that I see somebody in the chat said, and I thought about this as well. We talk about D. Arthur being a veteran. I think C.J. Henderson is going to get called up this game. He could be the number two guy, or he can be the backup to D. Arthur, and they could be rotated in and out. He could also rotate in and out with Mike Hughes. So C.J. Henderson is a name to watch as well. So they may not even try to bring no one in. They work somebody out, but you know how that works.
Well, you got to
They
have
make
depth regardless. Even if you do bring CJ up, you still got to have depth behind him. That's why I believe. That's why I believe we had made the signing, bringing back. Oh man, what's his name? Not Lamar Jackson. Lord no. Um,
Keith Taylor.
Keith Taylor. Yeah, we brought back Keith
Yeah.
Taylor, so that's also
But he's
some
a
more
special
depth.
teams guy, though. He's a special
He
teams
is.
guy.
He
Yeah,
is.
so
That's why I said like no more than just depth. If you ask me, just to have on the practice squad, to help out. But and well, okay, let me ask you this: what's the chances of? I know he's special teams, but he's a corner. What's the chances of us seeing Mike Ford Jr. in some formations?
he's a slot as well. He wouldn't play on the outside.
That's yeah. I'm saying I
Yeah,
agree.
he's a
I
slot.
agree. I agree. But I just want to mention, just about all our corners. Just
Yeah,
be
hey
on the
Dan,
lookout.
Dan been paying attention to what I've been saying. He said, with that being said, just mean our front seven needs to constantly pressure Bryce Young back into his car seat.
Yeah,
Because you
that's it.
remember I said he had
Short
graduated
man.
from his car seat and he finally put his feet on the ground and started running. But
Short man.
yeah, yeah, sure, man. No, Devin, no
Nah,
Kobe Bryant.
I don't see it.
I don't think we see him at all this year. I'm gonna just keep it honest with you.
If we
Yeah,
see Kobe Bryant this year, that must mean we're depleted at corner.
right.
And we don't
The
want to see
run.
that.
Pam said the running game concerned her. Hubbard and Miles Sanders gashed us last year, and that's true.
Hmm.
But I feel like we got younger, we got strong up front, and we showed it last week. We actually showed it in game one. Because the only reason they got the 100 yards because Baker had about 50 of them. So
Yeah, he did.
yeah,
About
that's why
50
we need. That's
more.
why we need to contain Bryce Young because we don't
About
need that same
54.
thing happening. This is a division game, and
It
anything is
is.
liable to happen.
And we gotta have this division game. We can't go 0-2 in the division.
Facts,
And we just that just don't look right.
right? And Blackberry said that front five attack play like they did in last Sunday, we'll survive not having AJ for a couple of weeks. That's true. And like I said, that Washington game is probably going to be most important because they actually have two number one receivers if you think about it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yep.
yeah,
Terry and Debo.
yep. Millie Mills, what's up, my guy?
What's
But
happening,
yeah,
fam?
man. Tremel said 31-7.
Yeah, I'm with it.
My parents said
Yeah,
she was traumatized by defense last year, and
uh-huh.
got
I
she
gotta
learned how to
learn
pray and
great.
trust that the defense is different this year.
Yes, yes, that's all of us though, Miss Auntie Pam. Because like honestly, that that bend but don't break stuff. It broke more than it bended. I honestly believe, and we gave up a lot of points, a lot of yards more so than anything. But yeah, this year Jeff Ulbrich is not with that, and this
No,
defense, these defensive players, they're buying in. Even the young guys, all four of them, I believe, are buying in. You hear about them, the veterans, even though they're still young, they're still veterans. They're raving about the young guys, and we still have like second year guys and third year guys. You know, even guys like Arnold Applicated and etc. Like these guys are getting after it, and they're buying into what Jeff Ulbrich is preaching. So
right.
because we know for a fact, like the verbiage is different from how it was last year with these players and how they're speaking about the coaching, just the coaching alone. So I believe that if these players believe in Jeff Ulbrich and what he's preaching, that means they're
They'll
willing to play
find a
for
way.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they'll
they're
find a
willing to
way.
play for him.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm ready to see.
Nando said we'll need to get 3 sacks. D offer starts on the outside. If we can get that stat, then yeah, we get the W. We can get 3 sacks. I think we can get 3 sacks because the Carolina Panthers line is banged up, so that's a good thing. And
Yeah, they missing two
I think
linemen.
Aurora and Doyle is gonna play good like they did last week. And the more reps that they get,
Those are
going
my X
along in
factors.
this season, they just gonna get better.
Those are my X factors. Those two guys, man, the fusion twins, get in there and get after that
I ain't
quarterback, man.
Chris said Jimmy Pons kept me in the prayer closet. He talking about Jimmy Lake, but he wasn't on
Yeah.
Lake. He was a
Mm-hmm.
pawn. Terrence A1 just asked that, man. He said, could I see Billy Bowman? No, I think he's just a slot, and he's going to stay in the slot. If anything, he slides back to safety. But when you talk about the number 2 spot, it's probably going to be D. Alford, call up C.J. Henderson, and Clark Phillips if he can go, and Natron Brooks. And when Natron Brooks played last year in Denver on the outside, he got cooked. So the outside is not his thing; the inside is his thing. But let's switch it on over to the next topic.
Ooh, boy,
Bleacher
stream
Report.
yard. This stream yard is all the way good.
They put out a
All
report
right.
and shout out to man. Look, shout out to our boy RJ for bringing this to our attention about Kirk Cousins and
Absolutely.
his. It says reported he's done by some NFL executives amid trade speculation, and I can understand why they feel that way. Because if you look back, at what happened with that but
Mm-hmm.
it says there are some people around the league that I talked to that think Kirk Cousins essentially done.
Mm.
Um, James Palmer reported NFL Insider on episodes on the Scoop City podcast. So it said Diana Racine Athletic reported Monday that the Falcons don't have any immediate plans to trade Kirk Cousins, despite several injuries to starting quarterbacks on opposing teams. At Cincinnati, I knew that was going to come up. That's why I threw that video out because I knew it was coming up about Joe Burrow missing time with that toe injury, which I think is going to cost him his season. And I hate that because 2 out of the last 3 years he's been hurt and missed games. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Said J.J.
Then
McCarthy
you talk
expected
about
to
the
miss some
49ers, they
time.
say right here,
Yeah.
right?
Brock
And
Purdy
then you
with
talk
that turf
about,
toy.
yeah, Brock Purdy, right? So, but they have Matt Jones, and that's a quarterback friendly system. So I think they can survive with Matt Jones. That's why I didn't even go there with him. But 159 starts last year, led the league in interception with 16, had 18 touchdowns, and just fell apart at the end. And to me, and I agree to a certain extent, that he could be done because of what we seen last year. And like I told you, that Los Angeles Chargers games to me, that was the beginning of the end.
Man, the
But what you
beginning of
think
the
about
end,
that?
the beginning of the end might have been before that, to be honest with you, bro. But honestly, fam, to be honest with you, with the whole thing about we're not looking to trade Kirk Cousins, we talked about that off air, and I told you how I felt. So I
Right,
still feel the same way
right.
about that. I feel like that could possibly be a maneuver, a strategy move right there, a strategic move right there to let everybody else know, hey man, we understand that y'all missing quarterbacks, but just don't come over here with no weak offer. Because honestly, we're not willing to trade Kirk Cousins for no weak offer. And I'm pretty sure that people are going to say, "Hey, man, seventh rounder, you still pay," or something like that. And we're not going to trade him for any of that. So even though you missing
Nah,
the
not.
quarterback,
And
you're going
see,
to have to pay.
this is what people fail to realize about what's going on with this. Um, they're paying a
Yeah,
lot of
that's how
money
I
this
feel,
year.
Philly. That's how I feel.
Yeah,
I feel like it can be
yeah.
like a smoke
If you
screen.
got to pay him $27 million, no way in the hell you're gonna take a seventh round pick to chew up $27 million. That just doesn't make sense.
Mm,
If anything, you're gonna try to stay in that second to third round range. You know you're not getting the first. Second is a bit of a stretch, but it can't
it,
happen
it could
because
be doable if you're
yeah,
desperate enough.
because of the situation. But if we're being real, we're talking about a third round pick or
Mm,
possibly two fourth
third,
round picks.
right?
So
Okay.
yeah, so I mean, I'm not gonna go up to loud and say a first round pick because I know that ain't happening. 37 years
Nah.
old, busted shoulder, Achilles look like a piece of turkey bacon. I mean, anything can happen. So yeah,
We'll see what
and
happens with old Kurt, man. Because again, I just don't believe that the Falcons are willing to take any kind of weak offers. It got to be something worthwhile. Otherwise, I believe they'll just ride this contract right on out into the sunset. And either way it
agreed,
goes, I'm fine. I'm fine with it.
agreed, Craig. Before we get out of here, man, my boy, let's get it. GA asked me a question today, and three
Okay.
people asked me this question while I was out today, and he was talking about the defense. It's a top five defense right now. Really top three if you go by numbers. Do you think this could be a top five defense all season? Was because they were the Vikings last week, or do you feel like they can continue this momentum and end up being a top five defense? And it
I think top 10. I think top 10 can be realistic. Honestly, middle of the pack wouldn't even be bad for me either. That's
right,
but top 5 all year. If if this defense is a top 5 defense all year, now we got to start having these crazy conversations, like what I'm saying, like playing in February.
right,
So I mean, and that would be such a huge jump from last year. And also it just must means we're getting the turnovers. We're winning in all phases of the game, special teams as well.
right.
So I mean, top 5 defense all season long. I would love to see it, but I'm gonna be realistic, and I'm gonna just like in my eyes, I'm gonna say top 10. So at the worst though, I'm gonna say top 15. I don't see us dropping down into top 8. I don't see us dropping down 18, 22nd, and definitely not being 28th, 29th like we have been. So like yeah, I'm gonna say no lower than top 15.
I'm glad you said that because the way I addressed it when he asked, um, I was thinking, can this defense be elite? Absolutely. And what came to mind was last year and the talent we had on this roster last year was 6-3, but we were in the 20s when it came to defense, and we were mainly winning games on offense. And now that we've accumulated talent on defense and being in the 20s last year and getting younger, faster, you see them making plays, different coach. better coaches, Nate Ollie and Jeff Ulbrich, bring energy. I absolutely think this could be an elite defense. I think this could be a top 10 defense. And I know we got games like Washington, Buffalo, um, who else? Miami, the Jets. I mean,
We'll see what Miami looks like by the time we get to them.
yeah, but see, I know exactly what we, are dealing with this tough schedule. But at the same time, with what we had with less talent on defense last year and ended up 6-3, um, I just think it could be the sky's the limit. And that was really, a forewarning of what we had coming because we all knew that they were probably going to go defensive heavy. And then you look at I think who was it? Um, what team was that last year? Started off real rough, but
Talking
they
about the
ended up
Rams.
right because their defense started playing better. And I just feel like the Falcons just have confidence, man. No, I ain't sneaking on the phone. Wide awoke, man.
That jump funny. That was why
Yep.
I was looking at that. I was like, heck, it's like home said they
I
like you
used
sneaking and
I
geeking.
used to be asleep by now, so that's probably why I sound like that. But yeah, I just think there's too much talent on this defense. We in the next, I would say 3 to 4 games, we're gonna know exactly where we stand with this team because playing teams like Buffalo and Washington, who's the top of the pack in the NFL.
Especially
I just
Buffalo.
yeah, I just feel like we're gonna get a measurement as to where we are, and then we make it out in the next 4 to 5 games, and we have a 500. I mean, above 500 record. I feel
That's
like we'll
it.
be all right because just like last year, we started off tough, middle of the schedule got tough, and then towards the back end, it fell off a little bit. But the Falcons could not capitalize because one, Kurt's
Oh, okay.
injury,
Look at that.
two, bad coaching. So now that we have all that together, I feel like we have put everything together. So now all we got to do is trust Raheem and his coaching staff to coach these guys right and win football games. So when it comes to elite talent on defense, I feel like we had that. And if you saw what Xavier Watson, Billy Bowman did last week, they just getting started. Talk
Oh,
about
definitely.
Jalen Walker, you talk about James Pierce, they just getting started. So all they got to do is keep growing, keep building chemistry, and why not? Why shouldn't this team be a top tier team? So I mean,
I
hey,
mean, it all depends again. Like it's all depends on the coaching. As long as the coaching being able to adjust, being able to set these guys up and put them in the right locations, and of course, these players, showing their intelligence and continue to be smart out
right.
there and shooting the right gaps. Some choosing the right zones is better, etc. So yeah, and the thing about it is like about these young guys, like they haven't really taken any lumps, but I love the fact that it doesn't look like the moment is too big for them. In the first two get set of games, I believe like just talk about all four guys in a whole, they look like the moment is not too big for them. They just really look like they out there just playing football. It could be what you don't know, you just don't know, or maybe it could be just like the character of the players. But overall, like these guys right now in the first two games seem like, guys who were like already have been there before. That's what it feels like. Like they
And you
already
got to
have
give a
that
shout out to
experience.
the scout. You got to give a shout out to the scouting team as well,
Yeah,
because when you
yeah,
look at how they drafted the last 2 years, they went out and got guys they know could get after the quarterback, and Brandon Dorless, James Pierce, Braylon Trice, who's injured. All the three of these guys were top of the league, top of the college football in the pass rush win rate, and it's starting to show. So I mean that alone, man, knowing what you've drafted and put on the field and have confidence in that, it sells a lot. And this is now that I think about it, with the talent that they've got the last 2 years, they went out and found a coach that can coach this talent, this young talent. So yeah, I think they'll be fine.
right.
Dan said, believe it or not, the week 5 bye is a blessing to us. Storm knowing the AJ back for the Buffalo game, and if we upset them, ooh boy.
Yeah,
And to me,
man.
Dan, it really wouldn't be no upset because we beat the Eagles last year.
Wait a minute now, Smitty. But that's Buffalo, the charlatan of the NFL. We beat them. That would be kind of like a major notch on the belt.
And but let me tell you, and people think Josh Allen is the problem. Josh Allen is not the problem. James Cook is the problem. And the reason why I say that, remember when they didn't have a
Georgia boy.
top notch running back, um, Buffalo could not move the football. But now that they got a guy that can catch out the backfield and run, bust a run, James Cook is the problem. You saw it last week. He had
Oh, they
130
already
some
know it.
yards and 2 touchdowns, and he had about 50-yard receiving. So
Hmm.
if you stop him, and again, this is why I have trust because now that they have him, we have a linebacker that can hang with him, Divine Diablo. So I mean, look,
That's gonna be a big test for Diablo. Not gonna lie to
yeah,
you.
but I think he can handle it. Miss Carey, what's
I do
good?
too.
She said she ready for Sunday to put the Panthers in their place. Talking all
Yeah,
that
man.
talk. I think we better get in the red zone this week and hit 30 points.
Let's
She's
do it.
saying 31-13.
Love it. Love it. Let's do it. Ready to smoke some of that Carolina cat, she said. Let's do
Pause.
it.
Boy. Miss Pam said I need to see attitude from Drake London and what I saw national televised conservative Drake. Um, I think that had more to do with how they game plan, around Minnesota. I think they plan to run the ball more than pass, and it showed. So Drake was doing more blocking than receiving, and you see he didn't really get into it until the second half. He did have a catch the first half, but he really didn't start catching the ball to the second half. So I get it.
Right.
If we
Say
beat
we beat
Buffalo, man,
Buffalo.
listen, I'm not gonna know how to act. They'll be forced to put us top 10 in the power rankings at that point. Oh
Oh,
yeah,
absolutely.
they wouldn't have a choice.
That's a major
Probably
win. I'm telling you.
probably top five.
I don't know if they will. It depends because right now, Smitty, they got us like in the top 15.
We right
With
at
that,
15.
you're right. So it's like we're in like the top 15 or like 18, one out of two. It's either 15 or 18. Either way it go, we in the teens. But
Right.
if we keep winning, and by the time we get to Buffalo,
All right, EQ
possibly
man, get some rest, my brother. Go ahead.
possibly man. Good night, Falcon fam. But yeah, man, possibly maybe at least the top eight, top seven, because trying to climb that power ranking, it's tough, man. Especially I think it's
Right.
like especially if you down like in there like 18 or something like that. So I say it definitely within the top 10. I don't but top five, I don't know, man. We got to keep on winning.
Deanna said she want a complete shutout. I would
Let's
love that.
do it. I ain't gonna lie,
Craig
that's
said
that.
103-3. That's a Madden score. Christian said he talked bad about D, but D was doing his stuff last week. Yeah, he played
Yeah,
special
he
teams
was.
and he had to play defense last week. So he did his thing. And, I trust D offer because, like I
Mm,
said, man, I saw what he could do that first year, but I don't care what nobody said. Jimmy Lake was the main problem why these guys looked so bad last year because they
ev-
were playing out of place for most of the season. Scheme
Bro,
was
we
bad,
talked
play
about it.
calls bad.
Everybody
So yeah,
took a step back.
yeah,
Everybody looked
absolutely.
bad. I'm sorry. They did.
Kara said you think both JPJ and Warner, who didn't practice today, will play Sunday?
I
Yeah, they
think
will
so.
absolutely play. Yeah, they will
I think
absolutely
so.
play.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just precautionary reason that they don't practice because they don't
Hmm.
want to put too much pressure on those injuries. Let them heal properly. Now probably did the walkthrough, and that was probably it.
Yeah, cause JPJ had that growing coming into the start anyway, so they're gonna be monitoring that, monitoring him. We need him for the entire season, and then just like Bijan was telling everybody, hey, we're telling these young guys, make sure y'all take care of your body. You want to, be able to do this type of stuff every game, not just some of the games and some of the time. He telling them what he already know because for those who watched Bijan's interviews, he'll say, "Hey man, my rookie season, I thought it was gonna be one way, it was complete another. Man, I was kind of like burning out a little bit. So he don't want these
Right,
guys to go through that. So
right.
yeah,
And
man.
you got to know how to manage. You damn you got to know how to manage. Manage. Keeping fresh. Put it like that. So I mean, if you can manage that, hey, you'll make it. Christian, I think D Offer is going to start opposite Mike Hughes this week, and I think Clark Phillips and C.J. Henderson is probably going to be brought up to back up him. So
Hmm.
we'll see how that turns out. Jimmy Lake, man, shaking my head just in a while in a bad way. So glad we have all bringing Island. Me too, Chris. I
Yes,
mean,
yes.
me too, Carrie. Because I mean that injury that they brought last week, we hadn't seen that in God knows how long. I
I'm
mean,
telling
probably
you,
since the mid 2000s.
and I'm telling you, man. Yeah, since the mid 2000s, you're right. And I'm telling you, man, that Nate Ollie signing, that thing, right, man, that's gonna be one of the best signings, not just say in recent Falcon coaching history, but man, it's gonna be it's an underrated signing. Just league wise, I think it's an underrated signing for the Falcons, man.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say this before we get out of here, man. I got to say this. Um, I have no problem with Zach Robinson. I feel like
Mm-hmm.
he's too conservative at times,
Mm-hmm.
and I hear he's probably going to be a head coaching candidate after the year is over. But if he does leave and Mike McDaniel does not remain in with the Miami Dolphins after this season, I absolutely think we have to go get Mike McDaniel. I feel like Mike McDaniel brings what Shanahan had gave to Matt Ryan in Atlanta, and the way he's helped Tua come along. Because remember, Tua had problems with accuracy and throwing the football deep, and they worked on that heavily. So it lets me know he can develop a quarterback. So if he can develop quarterbacks, he can come in, help Penix, and keep Penix on this same road that he's on now, as far as growing, as far as being an NFL quarterback. And Mike McDaniel, who was here as a passing game coordinator on that 2016 team, um, I feel like he can come in as an offensive coordinator and take this offense to the next level because he's not scared to take chances. And by him not being, not being scared to do that, I feel like he'll be a hell of a hire if he's fired from the Miami Dolphins.
All right, now, yeah, that's a mic drop if you ever heard one. Mike McDaniel back in Atlanta as the OC of the Atlanta Falcons. So you trying to tell me TJ Yates is not good enough for you, Smitty?
I'm just tired of in-house, man. Just keep it real with you. Just tired of
Well,
in-house, bro.
technically he'll be in house, back in house.
Yeah, but we know what he. But I'm saying he will bring a different attitude, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Nah, I
After
got you.
he done been to Miami to be a coach. He knows what it takes, and I mean Raheem Morris knows him. So
Hmm.
he brought back Ulbrich. Why not bring back Mike McDaniel and finish
I'm
everything
not
up?
mad at you because I ain't gonna lie. For the past 3 seasons, I've been wondering if Matt Lafleur was gonna take any kind of dip, but he has been just ascending after ascend. Each season. He seemed like he's just getting better as a head coach, and I don't think he's going anywhere. So Mike
Yeah,
McDaniel, hey man, Mike
we'll see.
McDaniel, we'll see.
Kara says she want to know thoughts on Koo. Is he still on the roster when Romo basically won the job Sunday? While I was
Mm.
stringing Koo along, saw he was
Oh,
at practice today on the sideline just talking. Just feels like the writing is on the wall. Yeah, it
yeah,
could very well be
that's
on the wall, and
that's
maybe they're trying, like A1 said, he want to see more. Maybe they want to just see him do it
yeah.
one more game and see how he plays out. And if he does, I mean, you got to think too. They've already paid Koo, so why not hold him
Yeah, man.
around? Yeah. So I mean, hey,
It's more like an insurance policy. Then of course we already know we have the bank accounts, saying within the coaching staff as well. So he's not going out without a fight just like that. I
right,
think
right.
also you want to make sure it wasn't a fluke. Yeah, he did hit 5 field goals, but who knows? That could have been like his moment at that time. Let's see what happens, in a different area, in a different atmosphere, and
And he
see
was
if
trying to kick it to
called on.
Minnesota because he kicked there last year. So
Yeah, I
maybe that,
do feel like that's a
yeah,
small advantage. I know it was only 4 games, but for a kicker, for a professional kicker, I do believe once you know that turf, you know that turf. So like,
facts.
so we're gonna see on a different turf, different area, whatever. We'll see what happens with that. I think he still just has to prove himself to the coaching staff, especially just to get Koo out the door. We got to remember who we're talking about. We're talking about Young Wei Koo, the quarterback of the special teams, who has
Yeah.
the emotional bank accounts, with Coach Raheem Morris. Parker, no, I'm just saying that. Regardless, my thing is Parker is really going to have to win this over for them to just say, okay, man, we gotta move on for Coop. Like, we really gotta do it.
Deanna said I thought people said Mike McDaniel's offense was gimmicky. Um, to an extent, it is, but his creativity is something that Zach Robinson is lacking right now. So I wouldn't have no problem with Mike McDaniel coming over because I know he's going to be creative in what he do. If you think about what he did with Jalen Waddle, Dude is one of the fastest receivers in the league. And if you know how to work with what you have on offense and not be able to scared to take shots like they do. If you remember his first year here in Miami, they were one of the top offenses in the NFL, and they were taking shots downfield like it wasn't that. And that's something that we want to see Michael Penix do right now. So we know if we had Mike McDaniel, we wouldn't be scared to take shots. And then they had I think Arcane was a rookie last year or the year before, but he would average 6.5 yards a carry. He's the fastest running back in the league. But if you can do that with him, imagine what he can do with Bijan. So I mean, I'm just looking at what he's done in Miami and knowing that the weapons they have, similar to the Falcons, two speedy receivers, a number one guy, fast running back. They did have Jonnu Smith, so they know how to use the tight end. So I just think his creativity will work wonders in Atlanta as an offensive coordinator.
Hmm. We'll see what happens if that road becomes available to go down, man. But
Facts.
yeah,
But
man.
yeah, man, we had to stop in right quick and talk to y'all, man. Give us y'all thoughts on a couple of topics, man. We just sitting around talking, and we just wanted to get y'all thoughts on it. But last comment, Ms. Kara said, "I just hope we beat the Panthers by double digits and see the
Mm-hmm.
red zone efficiency improve."
Got to see
Absolutely.
that red zone
Game
efficiency.
one, pass heavy game. Two, run heavy game. Three, just balance it all out. And I agree with that 1,000%.
Mm-hmm.
Craig Johnson said he's taking 31-13, and I can roll with that.
Let's do it. Let's
But
get our
A1,
first
man,
30 point.
facts. You know what to do, man. Tell everybody where to find you, bro.
Man, A1 Forever Sports, and just like it says right up under my name, Chris Tipmore, and also the Hawks Digest as well. Come on over, like, comment, and subscribe on both channels. Always be generational because it's always time to be. It is after 12, so it's a brand new day. Hopefully, you guys have already found your peace, and if you haven't yet, I hope you do sometime today. Outside of that, man, let's get ready, Falcon fans. Just another day closest to more Falcon football on Sunday. Hopefully, another Falcons win. I believe strongly about it, but we already know how these divisional matchups go. Either way it go, stay tuned because you never know when your boys gonna pop up with a show.
Facts. And y'all know where to find me, man. Smitty Sports Machine on YouTube. Also find me at Twitter at FatboySlam_21. I'm always blowing that thing up. And again, as I said in my new catchphrase, my new motto, step out on faith. Because all you gotta do is take one step. If you take one step, stepping out on faith, everything else will fall in place. Guys, because why? Because you're gonna believe in it at the end of the day. And if you believe, you can achieve. Just that simple. But Miss Carey, thank you, man. Great show. We
Thank you,
appreciate
thank
you,
you.
everybody in the chat. We appreciate you, um, Christian. Appreciate you, my
Thank you,
brother.
family.
But yeah, man, we're gonna roll out because it's past 12 o'clock and we don't want to keep y'all up too long. Because my old ass about to fall asleep on this microphone. Miss Pam, thank you. Thank you. Lady Birds of AFN, man. Y'all go check them out. They doing their thing, man. Her and Christy. They do their thing. I think they have two other co-hosts, but I'm most familiar with Miss Pam and Christy. And
Right.
thank Miss Pam for coming through. But yeah, man, we're gonna roll because like I said, I'm about to fall asleep on this microphone. Somebody already said I sound like I'm whispering, but I'm about half sleeping. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, but thank y'all. We gonna roll and rise up, and we'll see y'all soon, man. Because you just never know what kind of news gonna break. Peace.